Hello everybody, welcome back everyone to our 9th episode. We are so sorry for the delay. We both had exams to deal with so couldn't shoot. Thank God it's over, man. Podding is like my relaxing area. I just love talking hoops. And another apology to give. My good friend Nandan won't be here because he's hiding from me for the simple fact that the two teams he hates, the Golden State Warriors and the Boston Celtics, are playing in the NBA Finals, and then joking, he has some work to do. But I won't be surprised if he is hiding for the simple fact that either he'll see the Boston Celtics get banner number 18 on our rafters at TD Bank Garden, and he'll have to apologize to me. 3 wins away from doing it. And then, on the other hand, while the Boston Celtics could end up doing that, the Lakers are fishing in Cancun, enjoying a nice vacation. And on the other hand, my Golden State Warriors are in their 6th finals in 8 years, looking for their 4th championship in 8 years. And if Steph Curry gets a finals MVP, he has to face me and a few of my other friends and apologize for everything he said about Curry, Clay, Dre, and the entire Warriors team. Anyways, I know you guys would have loved it for him to be here because of my Golden State Warriors epic collapse to my Boston Celtics, as both are my teams. It was so bad, so good and so bad. While I don't mind either winning, I don't want the Warriors to collapse the way they did. Anyway, let's get right to it. So the first quarter started off hot. It started with Steph Curry setting a finals record for most threes in a single quarter. People kept talking about how Marcus Smart, whenever he's on Steph Curry, he holds him to 29 points per game. But man, those are regular season games. That doesn't matter. Steph Curry came out firing. He scored 21 points, 6 of 8 from 3, if I'm correct, in the first quarter. And then Golden State took a 32-28 lead. And this is where I disrespected a legend, the greatest point guard ever, Irvin Magic Johnson. He mentioned something interesting about how, because the Golden State Warriors finished their Western Conference Finals championship over, they didn't play for an entire week. So because of that, they might have a little bit of fatigue. Their legs will not feel like themselves because they didn't play for a while. So playing a long game, their bodies could start getting exhausted early. And then I told him, in my head, I told him, the Boston Celtics just came off a physical 7-game series with the Miami Heat. They played a physical series before that with the defending champs, the Milwaukee Bucks. Playing 2 7-game series, that must be exhausting. I started to think, what is Magic saying? I know you're a 5-time champion. I know you played in 9 finals. But I agree to disagree. Well, in the second quarter, he ended up right. I shouldn't question a legend again. Towards the second quarter, all the Warriors players started holding their knees. I didn't know what that was. They weren't looking like themselves. The offense got stagnant. And then Boston outscored Golden State 28-22 to have a 36-34 lead at 56-54 lead at halftime. And then at halftime also Magic Johnson made an interesting point about how that's a sign of fatigue and they don't have fresh legs because they didn't play for 1 week. Meanwhile, Jason Tatum in the first half himself, he didn't look like himself. He airballed a 3 before ultimately making one, then went to the free throw line and missed both free throws, bricked both free throws. But then meanwhile, Jaylen Brown, his counterpart, had 24 points for the game. By the first half, he at least had 12 points, if I recall. Man was firing. The Boston Celtics, with Jason Tatum struggling, held it for him. the Golden State Warriors were defending the Boston Celtics like how they defended Luka against the Dallas Mavericks. Whenever Jason Tatum came inside the rim, they put tons of attention on him. That opened up lanes for Marcus Smart, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Al Horford, and Robert Williams for lob threats. It gave them openings to score. That became a whole problem. And this is where we give Jason Tatum his props. Early in his career, whenever he was double-teamed, man did not have passing in his repertoire. It tended to become a problem. But now he ain't Devin Booker. Man can handle double teams. Even if he isn't scoring, so what? He has help. He does what a championship player does. Make the right play, kick it to the open shooters, and rest. You hope they make it, which they did. This ended up becoming a scoring battle more than a defense battle. Though this thing, what you say, the Boston Celtics were number 1 in defense for the regular season. Golden State were number 2 in defense for the regular season. I thought it would be a defensive battle. Instead, for the game, Boston Celtics field goal percentage was 50.6, Golden State 44.3. 3-point, Boston Celtics 51.2, Golden State 42.2. That's what I say. Overall, I thought because it's turning into a scoring battle of who can score more points, I thought Golden State will have the offense because the Boston Celtics tend to become stagnant. And the best to worst part is yet to come. Let me get to the third quarter. So in the third quarter, Golden State outscored Boston 38-24. Everyone was firing, man. Steph Curry, they started D'ing up on his 3. They stopped defending Steph Curry like how they defended Jimmy Butler, because Jimmy Butler can't shoot the way Steph Curry does, so they had to take away Jimmy Butler's 3. But then after that, in the second half, Steph Curry only had 1 3. Steph Curry had 21 in the first quarter, 13 for the rest of the game. They started D'ing up. The others, meanwhile, could not fire. Though in the third quarter, everyone was firing. I need to give my props to Otto Porter. The man had 12 points, 4 of 5 from the field, 4 of 5 from 3. All were 3s. And meanwhile, Andre Iguodala and of course mainly Andrew Wiggins were locking up Jason Tatum. They put chains on him. But like I said, because he has the passing ability, he was able to kick it to the open shooters to make it. But in the third quarter, Steph Curry was still making his floaters, though he could not take normal layups because every time he did, Robert Williams, who averaged just 2.2 blocks in the regular season, would just deny him. But either way, man was able to make the mid-range shot, the 3 ball, though he made 1 3, and he was able to make floaters. And then meanwhile, everyone else was in constant motion. Because of that, all they needed was a second of eye contact for one of them to get open looks, whether mid-range or 3, kick it to them, and they fire. That's what the Golden State Warriors did right. They did everything right in the third. They were the third quarter team, the team that had the best efficiency in the third in the regular season and playoffs, if I'm correct. And as a result, the Golden State Warriors had a 38-24 lead in the third at their home court at Chase. It looked like Boston was just inexperienced, because if you combine all the Warriors players as per the stat, the Golden State Warriors players combined played 123 finals games together. And we know Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Andre Iguodala, Draymond Green, Kevon Looney all had 3 championships, 5 finals appearances. Iggy 6 if you count the Miami Heat one. Either way, it looks like experience was beating inexperience. The Boston Celtics had no answer for the Warriors. The Warriors had figured out their defense. They were feeling it, and they were just unstoppable. Now let's get to the fourth quarter, where a big plot twist happened. The Boston Celtics outscored the Golden State Warriors 40-16. they went on a 17-0 run. It started with when Steph Curry was on the bench, so was Jason Tatum. There was Jaylen Brown who started that quarter with a 3-pointer and then a 2. Man was dancing. He had it his way. Very underrated player. I hate that nobody talks about him. And then that time Looney was on the bench, so they went small with Draymond at the 5. So whenever like Jaylen Brown went close to the rim, Draymond Green would come to help Clay. During that time, Robert Williams had open lobs. He lobbed it to Robert Williams, and then boom, dunk. All of a sudden, it became a 7-point game. Steve Kerr called a timeout. After that, he got Steph Curry back in the game, but that didn't really help. Steph did have one pass to Clay for a 3. Steph Curry did have 2 layups, but that was the best he could do. Man looked fatigued. As Magic said, he didn't play for a whole week. Meanwhile, for the Boston Celtics, entire game, they were open 38. If I'm correct, they were open on 38 of their 3-point looks on 41 overall 3-point looks. Al Horford, man. Playoff Al is really one beast. This man is first in shots contested, first in field goal percentage allowed, second in 3-point percentage allowed, second most efficient scorer, efficient fourth quarter scorer, only player shooting 50% field goal, 45% from 3. We saw in the Milwaukee and Miami series, even when he doesn't score, he does every little thing correct. And I did say that Al Horford is the trump card for the Boston Celtics, because whenever Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown get inside the rim, Al Horford can space the floor with his shooting. Man's gonna get open looks. He has to capitalize on all. And guess what he did? Though in the regular season, man, if I'm correct, shot 33% from 3, which is below league average. In the playoffs, he's shooting 45% from 3, 50% field goal percentage, and then he's the second most efficient fourth quarter scorer. Marcus Smart, meanwhile, he started D'ing up on Steph Curry. The Warriors' offense became stagnant, like Draymond Green said. And man, Draymond Green, you were bad. I didn't feel your energy like you normally do. They were daring you to shoot threes. You were 0 of 4 from 3, 0 of 4, 3 from free throw, 2 of 12 for the game. You don't have your offense right now. They were daring you to shoot. You were hesitating to shoot. Normally when you hesitate so much to shoot, and then all of a sudden you just take it, your form goes off. That's what happened to you, and you missed. You had 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, typical Draymond. But then, man, you were a -1, 4 points. I didn't feel that same energy from you from the TV that I normally feel in most games. And then let's get to a bigger story. Derek White, man. They were daring him to shoot because as per percentage, in the regular season, the man shoots 31% from 3. Want to know what he did, guys? Man had 3 3-pointers in the fourth, 5 3-pointers in the game, 5 for 8, 6 for 11 from the field, 4 of 4 from free throw, plus 25. He had like 3 3-pointers in the fourth. One of them, Steph Curry, was right in his face. That man kind of took a fadeaway 3. I just knew, because of everything that went bad for the Warriors and everything that went good for the Boston Celtics, Derek White was gonna make that. However, the percentages say is this 3. However, what you say. However, many the Boston Celtics were hitting. Marcus Smart, I'm gonna say this. Marcus Smart, Derek White, Al Horford combined for 15 for 23 from 3. Marcus Smart, 33% 3-point percentage in the regular season. Derek White, 31% 3-point percentage in the regular season. Al Horford, though I said in the playoffs, 45%. Over here is 33.6%, all below league average. All of them shot 15 for 23 combined for the game. That's ridiculous, man. And let me get to the Warriors. Meanwhile, the Warriors' offense became stagnant. Normally, when Steph is getting keyed in like that with Marcus Smart and whoever double teaming him, what the Warriors offense should do is they should be in constant motion like they normally are. Like Dre said, they became stagnant. They became stagnant. They weren't in constant motion. Because of that, nobody could get good looks. Nobody. Clay couldn't really get good looks. Clay had 15, 6 of 14, 3 of 7. Was okay, but I need him to be better, man. And to be better, he needs better looks. And you ain't getting good looks if you're not in constant motion against this kind of defensive team. They know how good your threes are. They're going to stick to you. And then regarding the Warriors, they played the game of let someone not named Jason Tatum beat us. So every time he gets inside, Draymond Green has one job of helping Wiggins on Tatum, and on the other hand, somehow stopping Al Horford's threes. He didn't really have so much energy on defense. He couldn't. Jason Tatum made the right play with his 13 assists to give Al Horford the 3. And when I gave Jason Tatum his props regarding passing, he leads the playoffs in 498 points overall, most assists with 119. And he's a lockdown defender. We need to give him his props. He's an all-around player, more mature player now. While the Warriors have experience didn't matter here. Boston showed that they're battle-tested. The road to the finals was even tougher than the Warriors' road to the finals. They came off 2 7-game series, won one against defending champs the Milwaukee Bucks, and won a Game 7 against the Miami Heat on the road. Book it, on the road in South Beach. Andrew Wiggins in his first finals, 20 points, 8 of 15 was good, but 2 of 7 from 3. Man couldn't buy a bucket in the fourth. Once the Celtics kept hitting those threes and the Warriors' offense became stagnant, nobody was in motion. They were forced to play ISO with all those Celtics defenders, Marcus Smart, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Al Horford, Robert Williams. Horford and Williams, though they're bigs, they were able to keep up with guards. And then Derek White, all are lockdown defenders. They play very physical defense. Their defensive rating says it all. So then, because of that, it became tough for the Warriors to buy a bucket. Those Boston threes really affected their morale, and then it became a pattern of failure for the Warriors. There was a 4-minute stretch where the Warriors did not score a single point. Meanwhile, I guess Boston went on a 17-0 run, finished the game on a 20-2 run. Unacceptable in the finals on your home court. The Warriors are not known to lose playoff games on their home court, but over here, that's exactly what happened. This is a big L. Meanwhile, the Warriors have tons of things to correct. And meanwhile, the Boston Celtics continue to do what you did. Jason Tatum, hopefully you can shoot better for my Boston Celtics. Some of your threes, you were unlucky. Some you were double teamed. You made the right play. Continue to do it, man. Be that new mature player that you are. And Boston Celtics, sometimes your offense tends to be stagnant. Be careful with that. You've done it tons of times. Jason Tatum leads the playoffs in turnovers as well. Some of them are like forced turnovers, whether off passes. Though in the last 2 games, Game 7 versus Miami and Game 1 here, he only had 2 turnovers. Man has done well. Continue doing that. And though Jaylen Brown played well, he has weird ball handling. His ball handling is worse than mine. And I ain't a good ball handler, and I'm a school and club player at best. So if the Warriors get Gary Payton the second back, or Klay Thompson or Andre Iguodala are guarding you, they have a keen eye for steals. So then they can take it from you any second. They can take your cookies. Meanwhile, there are tons of games where Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown, one plays good, one plays bad. Can't happen. Jason Tatum, as per the scoring numbers, didn't play great. But scoring isn't the only thing at basketball. There's passing, there's assists, there's rebounds, all the little things. He did the rest. There's a reason the man was a plus 16. Al Horford, Big Al, if you win this championship, you're a Hall of Famer. Keep doing what you did in your 15-year career, especially in the playoffs. Marcus Smart, he's going to D up on Curry. Meanwhile, for the Warriors, You guys should never be stagnant. Watch film. Never stay stagnant on your offense. Keep moving like you always do. Don't get carried away in the finals when you have a lead. If a team is in the finals, it means they're a good team. Mark it. It means they're a good team. If they won 2 Game 7s before coming here against 2 tough teams, it means that they're a good team. Never get stagnant. Klay Thompson, if you guys can keep moving, Klay Thompson can get better looks. Either he can open lanes for Steph to get a good look for 3 even when they're closing out on him, touching him, sticking to him. But even if they all go to Steph, that can open up lanes for the other guys to get better looks. Which is why the Warriors need to never be stagnant. And on one hand, I have to mention Jordan Poole. Man, I understand you're young. You're not that built physically yet. But right now, you only had 9 points. You were a minus 19, 4 of 4 from free throw, 1 of 5 from 3, 2 of 7 field goal. Man, one thing about Jordan Poole is, man, don't try to show off your ball handling, though it's good, against all these lockdown defenders who are bigger and stronger than you. Denver was as soft a team as you could play. Boston and Memphis, though you already beat Memphis, these are physical teams, man. At this point, Jordan Poole has to play off ball and get open cuts in order to score, or he has to play off ball and get a good look for 3 or create them himself. Because right now, against Marcus Smart, the defensive player of the year, or Grant Williams, and Robert Williams at the paint, or Horford, I think it isn't going to be easy for him to score in the paint. He has to do it while playing off ball, or he has to hit mid-range or 3-point shots, man. And Golden State, I thought since it's a scoring battle and you're a better 3-point shooting team and a better scoring team overall, I thought you guys were gonna win. But when your offense is stagnant and when they are fiery, Boston was a more determined team. There's a reason they came out firing in the 4th, telling Marcus Smart, Derek White, Al Horford says stop underestimating us by giving us these open looks. We'll punish you and we'll make them. They did that in your home court. You lost the game. You're in a 1-2 hole. And man, I'm gonna say this, Draymond Green, you have to find a way to make a few shots to dare them to come near you, or if your offense is constantly moving, when you go near Curry or Klay, sometimes they will close out on both of them. You can do your fake handoff and try to score. And don't hesitate to shoot, please. And like you said, the Warriors need to watch film. They have work to do. And then they should never be stagnant. I'm saying it again. You stay stagnant against this kind of a all-time great defense, best defensive team since the 04 Pistons. Mark my words. You ain't winning. And Andrew Wiggins, you had 20. Do this again. Klay Thompson, though this isn't Game 6, you may need to be Game 6 Klay. Meanwhile, for the Boston Celtics, you guys never become stagnant like you do at times in the playoffs. When you're up 14, never let your guard down. You blew that kind of lead like that tons of times against the Bucks and the Heat. And sometimes when Jason Tatum goes against new physical defense, even his passing is useless, even his scoring is useless, he takes one game to feel it and figure it out. And then meanwhile, Jason Tatum is mad. He knows he didn't shoot well, though he did the other little things correct. So then man will come to shoot better. And people can talk about how the Celtics won with Jason Tatum, a 3 of 7 team. Well, guess what? If Andrew Wiggins was guarding Jason Tatum alone with Green just closing out on Horford, Derek White, Al Horford, Marcus Smart, they wouldn't go 15 of 23. And Dre, you said it, you can live with a 31, 33, 33% 3-point shooters for the season, shooting 15 of 23. You can't take away everything, so you have to live with a few things. But at the same time, if they're constantly hitting them, you need to contest them to make them miss a few. And don't leave the Boston Celtics open on 38 of 41 attempts from 3. Close out better. That's a big key. And then what else? And then Jordan Poole, don't go around showing off your ball handling, though it's good. Please, not against Marcus Smart. You're gonna have your cookies taken. And then meanwhile, while the Warriors need to do a better job of going to the free throw line, Andrew Wiggins, don't turn inconsistent and play bad the next game. Continue your good D on Tatum. And then the Warriors, if they want to leave, they want someone else not named Tatum to beat us, then the rest you can do is like close out better, contest better, and pray. Derek White, Al Horford, and Marcus Smart never combined for 15 or 23 again. And I will end with this. If the Warriors lose another game at Chase Center and they're down 2-0, I'm telling you the Boston Celtics are taking them out in 5. So the Boston Celtics go firing tomorrow, because you know the Golden State Warriors have the championship DNA. They're gonna come firing. So because of that, you guys have to also come firing, being like, we want to win another game at Chase Center, and we'll go to the home court, though they're like 5-4 in their home court, or 4-5 if I recall, and on the road they're 9-2. That's a little weird, but still, home court matters a lot. They'll face the pressure even with their championship DNA of having to try to win on the road. So Steph Curry, you came out like you want to win a finals MVP in this game, though you lost. Keep doing it. Dre, like everything I said, please play better and don't hesitate to shoot. Klay Thompson, you can play a little more better, that can help. And Jordan Poole, you can do the other things like playmaking or play off the ball and try to get looks rather than showing off your ball handling. Hopefully Gary Payton II can return. You can put him on Jaylen Brown, such that he can get forced turnovers on Jaylen Brown. And meanwhile, the Warriors, as always, 14 turnovers, cut down on that as always. And Andre Iguodala, you also played great. Continue it. Otto Porter, you've been great. Continue it. But then you guys have work to do. Everything I said, figure it out soon. You don't want to lose another game at Chase Center. Boston Celtics, you have to make adjustments knowing they will. And all of you, continue your epic run, continue playing well. So I said what I had to say. Let's see what happens tomorrow. I'll give a breakdown soon. Hopefully Nandan can join us. Anyway, that's it, guys. If you come all the way till now, thanks for everything. Like, share, subscribe. Our Insta handles will be given below. Feel free to give any comments or advice. That's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Get out of here. Have a great day. Let's see what happens tomorrow in this amazing finals between both my teams. Anyway, see you guys.